Welcome back to another episode of What Are We Watching? All right, guys, what's going on?
Yeah, Bird.
How's everybody?
What
Why'd
up?
you call me
How you doing?
Bird?
I don't know. Why not?
I don't know. It's just all right. How's everybody doing?
We're doing
You
good?
good?
Doing good.
Nice, Jack. You want to tell the people? You
Yeah.
wanna tell the people the
so
news?
we got a special guest in the house.
Tom Cruise.
Damn, he really is that short. I didn't believe he was that short until he showed up.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. He didn't talk about Scientology nearly as much as I thought he
So
would.
we're all going to the volcano.
Yeah, so we got Andrew DeRossini in the house
There
tonight.
you go. You got it right.
I got it right.
Nice. He had to practice that. That was good.
I
Thank you
just
for
found out
having
I've
me.
been saying it wrong this whole time.
I've known you
So-
for almost 5 years.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I was like, that's how you say it,
thought
right? He was like, no.
I don't even know what you thought it was, but it was so unnatural what you said.
Yeah.
I said
It sounds like it did sound like you were making up a last
I said
name.
DeRossini.
Sounds like it was AI
I don't even
generated.
know. Was that
when
what
you
you said?
It,
It
though.
sounded insane. It sounded like AI got a hold of it.
I just said that.
DeRossini.
Did you say that?
I just said that. Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Maybe I'm
Well,
AI.
yeah.
Probably. It'd be
That's
better
it.
off if I was.
All right. So yeah, we got a good movie today.
Yes, we
We got a
do.
good one. Where should we start?
Well, you
Where
want to
should-
introduce your buddy here?
Yeah. So I've known Andrew for about 5 years now, family friend. Every time we get together, we talk movies. We have a lot in common with that. He's a great guy.
Everyone looks at us like we're weirdos for
Yeah.
the random shit we know.
There's nights where we just like everyone's talking and we're just in the corner talking about movies for like 2 hours. Like, oh, did you see this one? Did you see that one? So thought he'd be a great addition to the show. Come on as a guest. So welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And if you do a
everybody,
good
for
enough
having
job,
me.
you can replace one of us, and you can pick who
Yeah,
that
and you get
is.
to pick
Oh.
who you replace.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
So
be
what-
thinking about that this
Yeah,
week.
no, for real. Just see, like, just look
Yeah.
at people's weaknesses.
He's gonna be
Yeah.
writing down our performances.
that
like,
anyway.
He'll be like-
Shares the notes afterwards.
It's like, yeah, the guy has weak knees. I'm taking them.
I'm taking them out. So, are there any movies that like got you into watching movies? Like, do you have any favorites that are notable?
This is a weird one, but I remember the first movie that got me into like researching about movies and like learning about the making of is the live action Scooby-Doo movie.
Really?
Yeah, I was a big Scooby-Doo
With
kid.
Freddie Prinze Jr.?
With Freddie Prinze Jr.
Wow.
I still hold the opinion that is peak cinema, that movie. It's a great time.
Matthew Lillard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matthew
Matt
Lillard.
Lillard.
Is there
Uh-huh.
has there ever been better casting than Matthew Lillard as Shaggy?
Never.
I
No.
fucking
Never.
love Matthew Lillard.
That was
That,
perfect.
yeah, that was
Along
really
with
good.
Sarah Michelle
See, when you
Gellar
said-
kind of being,
Yeah.
that was my awakening.
When you said I have a weird one, I'm like thinking like, all right, he's going like art house or something like crazy,
Nuts. Yeah.
something like obscure that I'm not even gonna know what it is, and it's gonna be so awesome. So I'm gonna go watch it tonight. And then he's like, Scooby Doo. I'm like,
Scooby Doo.
I mean, the movie is awesome. I watched it in the calendar year, and I was like, what? This movie's
Yeah.
still good,
I was gonna say, and Keith is still gonna watch that tonight.
dude. I
Yeah.
watched it with my buddy not that long ago.
Oh, me
Scooby-Doo?
and a friend watch it like at least once a year.
It's-
I set up the projector in the backyard the one time. And
Nice.
Oh, nice.
had a
How
couple
far
beers.
into the Scoobies do you go?
Into
There's
the
a bunch of them,
Scoobies?
right?
Yeah, I'm pretty. Listen, if I'm up late one night, my girlfriend's already gone to bed, and I'm like, I don't want to wake her up. I'll load up Boomerang on Amazon, and I'll just watch
Yeah,
old
it'll just-
episodes
it'll
of
just
Scooby Doo.
go.
I'm just a big
okay.
Scooby Doo fan in general.
Okay,
so-
okay.
Yeah.
So you're okay, but like how far into the Scooby Doo like live action? Because there's a bunch of those.
I thought
Yeah,
there was two, right?
there's two.
Oh, there's
like,
only two. Okay.
There's
Yeah,
two main ones,
yeah.
but they've made like
made
made for
other
TV
ones.
stuff that are not.
Oh, okay.
They're
So-
like
Yeah.
kid stuff, and they're like modern kid stuff, so it's not as smart as other stuff might be.
So they have like it's the first Scooby Doo, and the second one is Monsters Unleashed.
Yes.
Right?
Oh,
Where it's
cool.
all the old monsters.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys got something in common here. You guys.
Yeah. Keith, why don't you go take a lap?
Yeah,
What we got it from
already,
already?
already know
Well,
that.
you know, when we're
My
done
last-
talking about
this is
Scooby
my
Doo.
last
In this TED
episode.
talk, I will.
This is my last episode already. That's great.
So we got Scooby Doo. Are there any other movies that you were like that really got you into it? Like anything recent that you've seen that you were like, oh, this is a good fucking movie.
That's a good question. I actually revisited something recently. I watched it for the second time. It was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I watched
movie,
that
yeah.
years and years ago, right before I broke up with a girlfriend, and we watched it together. And I was
Yeah.
getting ideas, I guess. And then me and my girl,
I gotta look into this technology.
I told my girl, I'm like, this might be the greatest made movie I've ever seen. And she was like, all right, now I got to watch it. We watched it together, and I was blown away again. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad we're happy.
Yeah.
She wasn't as impressed, but she did agree that it was pretty great. It's just,
I
that's
feel like
one
if
of those.
So
people
good.
either like love that movie or you're like that was bizarre.
I call it a
But that
beautiful
movie's so
bummer.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
That's accurate. Well, awesome. Those are two pretty solid picks. We
Yeah.
thought about doing.
Yeah.
We talked about doing Eternal Sunshine as an episode, but we were reading through we were like trying to write down the plot and like in a chronological order.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like I need to be really drunk or super high to like try and make sense of this. So it's just not. But yeah, two great movies. Two
Yeah.
incredible
Yeah.
movies. So what movie are we covering today?
Today
I
we're
can't
doing
read. I see this every
2008. I
episode.
know.
Oh my God.
2008 Step Brothers.
I'm gonna cut in the Mighty Mighty Boss tone. Yeah, this is a great movie.
Yeah.
Who's got notes on this one? Directed by Adam McKay. I think this is the first. Was this the first Adam McKay Will Ferrell comedy?
No,
What else did they
Talladega
do?
Nights was before.
Talladega
this.
Nights.
Well, they also did
Anchorman,
they did Anchorman
too.
too.
Oh, yeah. He's Anchorman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's gonna be my time for today.
Yeah, it's Anchorman, Talladega, this other guy's campaign.
Oh, campaigns.
Well, the campaign he did the story for. I'm sorry. He did
Other
not direct.
guys is insane.
The other guys,
Guys
that
is
one
great.
destroys me.
Yeah.
Speaking of other movies, should we go around the room and cover what we watched for you?
We have to, I guess, dude.
All right, well, we got what we're watching out of the way.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
Let's start with our guests. What have you been
what do you
watching?
Recently, I actually just, for the first time last night, I watched the original Twister.
Oh.
That's a
'Cause,
good movie.
I just recently watched
I'm a little
that, too.
behind it at the theater right now, but I think tomorrow I'm going to go see Twister. So we
Nice.
watched Twister last night. That was, at first I was like, this is cheesy. I don't know if this is one of those that aged well. And by the end, I was having a great time.
Yeah.
I was,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
it was,
Who's it,
Paxton
Jodie-
kills.
I was
Is it
rooting for
Bill Paxton
everybody.
and Jodie Foster.
No,
Yeah.
it's Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt.
Hell no,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Jodie
Oh, yeah,
Foster.
it is
my
Helen Hunt.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
then over the weekend, like a lot of other people, I saw Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah. I'm a big Marvel fan.
I got to get out there.
Is that
Oh, well, dude, when Batman shows up, you're really going to shit your pants.
Dude, that
Oh,
kid
you know what? I
could
probably
see
shouldn't have
dead
said
people
that.
the whole time. It's insane. Like, no, it's pretty solid.
I wish we could talk about it so bad.
Yeah.
Just like a full spoiler.
Well, I mean,
episode.
because you guys haven't seen it, so I would
Yeah, I
hate
haven't
to
seen
see
it.
your Christmas get ruined.
Yeah, this is one where
Like, you just
You
don't
think
want
we're
to
gonna be
say
affected that
like even my
hard?
buddy said avoid spoilers, and he never says that, and I was like, okay, like what's going to be spoiled? And then there was a part where I actually went,
I think I know what you're talking
oh,
about.
you do, I know.
Yeah.
A lot of things I saw coming, or it was still exciting to see, but there's one thing where
This
I'm
is
like,
the unthinkable.
no
like,
fucking way.
I literally, if I was standing, I would have been charged. I would have been like it was like what I don't remember being that excited at a movie theater ever.
That's pretty good, though. That's good.
Yeah, but I'm 36.
Who cares?
I'm sorry. Continue your what you watched. I just had to interject.
No,
there.
we were just talking about Long Legs before we started recording. I really liked that. I said I wasn't loving the ending, how it was wrapping up until it got me back. Like it won me over again,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, it all makes sense, and actually everything adds up. That's another one where I think it's going to be better when I watch it for a second time.
Is that a net
with more context?
Where is that on? Is that like a streaming thing, or was that
It was in theaters.
That was in
theaters,
theaters?
yeah.
That seems like one that's going to go
Shudder
to
have
streaming
it?
pretty quick, though.
I don't
Yeah,
think
I
Shudder
get-
doesn't have that, do they?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, that's got to be quick. I think that's gonna be like on Prime or whatever soon.
Whoever has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a side tangent, do you know how much it is to rent one of the new releases now?
It's 20, right?
Yeah, and you get it for 24 hours. So if you like, it's not even 48 hours. You
Damn.
can't even like,
Yeah, that was a
I
COVID
watched some
thing.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
'Cause I did
insane.
Invisible Man. Or is it
Stuff-
24 hours.
Stuff that was supposed to be in theaters now.
Yeah,
they
they
just
were
went to
like-
streaming, and they're like, and we're going to charge you whatever we
Yeah.
want.
You get it for 10 seconds. You gotta watch the whole thing.
That's how I saw it.
Oh, okay.
You like rent it, and then you're like 24 hours go by. You're like, fuck,
God.
gotta rent this again.
when they did the Invisible Man, that was during COVID. Like when that actually came out,
Yeah.
the remake of that. And so I was like, all right, we got to get this. So at my friend's house, I just bought it for $20 or rented it for $20.
That's just like crazy.
It ended up being good, but I was like, dude, imagine picking a dud. And you're like, cool, I was 20.
Yeah.
It wasn't $11.50 or $13. It
Yeah.
was 20.
That's
Yeah,
more
that
expensive
does
than going to the movies.
Yeah, but I guess they account
Well,
for.
they're counting if you and
4
15
people.
of your close, or 4 of your friends
yeah, that's
watching
true.
something. So, but all right, what else did Do you have any other movies that you checked out? You don't have to think of any because I usually am like, I watched one episode of a TV show.
Oh no, yeah, but
but if you got anything, keep them.
Now, I mean, it was a while ago now, but Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was pretty fantastic.
Okay.
That was.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
I wasn't expecting much. I took a long time to actually get to the theater to see it, and then when I did, I'm like, oh shit, I should have seen this earlier. This was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Okay. That's enough courage for me to watch it now. Sometimes with a movie like that, I just need someone to tell me, oh, it was good.
That's gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, though.
Nice. Jack,
Nice.
what'd you get?
Okay, so I actually watched a good amount of stuff. So I was at Keith's house, and me and him watched Blue Velvet on the back deck projector, which was cool.
Yeah. I realize we have 3 projectors in this group right now. You have a projector?
Yeah.
Keith has a projector. I have a projector.
I guess I'm just the loser that doesn't have a projector.
Just
Get on your
it,
game.
dude.
I gotta get a projector.
It's
I only
cheap.
brought that
It's
up
cheap
because
now.
we're worried about you, man.
Throw it up on the back fence.
Yeah. It's cheap now, dude.
So we watched Blue Velvet. I haven't seen that in a while.
Oh yeah.
Dennis Hopper is crazy in that movie.
We just had to keep turning the volume down when Dennis Hopper would be
every
on.
time he
So my
came on.
neighbor- Because he'd be like, "Baby wants to fuck." Like that's
It
all
was
anyone.
like a Thursday
my
night.
neighbors don't hear any music or anything. They just hear Dennis Hopper screaming.
Me and Keith were out there till like midnight watching this
was just
movie.
like,
It was like, baby wants to fuck.
Dude, and that speaker.
He's like, I'm just gonna
blasts.
turn
It's
this
pretty loud.
down real quick.
Just like people screaming. I'm like, okay.
And then actually 2 nights later, me, Keith, and Nick went to Keith's and watched Day of the Dead, which is awesome
Incredible
movie.
movie.
So gory. It's just so 80s. Like, I just love it. It's
Yeah,
such a
I
good
remember
movie.
that
Some of the
one was
lines
awesome.
in that movie are insane, though. Like some of the one-off
Oh,
lines.
dude.
Yeah.
Some of those, I was like, "Whoa,
Lots
we're
of
gonna,
unrepeatables.
we're gonna turn this
Yeah.
down or no?" But that
Yeah.
is a great movie.
That was a Saturday. We could blast it up a little bit that night.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
that was
a-
fun. Oh, yeah, that's fine out there.
That's a Romero movie, right?
Yeah.
That
yeah,
is.
that's
the third
third
one.
of them. Yeah,
The
it's
third
like
one?
end of his real trilogy.
Yeah.
Diary of the Dead, I think, was one of his last.
Yeah, it was like
zombie
Land,
movies.
Diary, and
Yeah.
Island, or I don't remember.
Something.
Hopper's in one of those too.
Is he? Which one's he?
I forget which one he's
Because
in.
Land was good, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
And I say good.
I think he's in
2005,
Land. I
it was
think
good.
Hopper's in Land. But yeah, and that, and then we did do a double feature that night. We watched Lost Boys after that, which I hadn't seen that in forever.
Yeah,
That
oh,
movie's
man.
great.
It hits.
That's
so
what,
hard.
I haven't seen that in a long time. Either.
Yeah.
That's,
When Kiefer hits the screen, man, it's like, oh,
Oh
shit.
yeah, that's
dude, this
that was
guy.
a perfect projector movie.
Yeah, that was good. Full transparency, I kind of fell asleep the last half hour. So so the next day, I'm
we've
like,
all seen it though.
I was like,
so
let me
it's-
pop the last half hour on real quick.
Well, dude, you guys started watching it. I left
like 11.
before that. It was well after 11 when I left.
Oh yeah, because we started
Yeah.
part of Hellraiser
Yeah.
4.
Oh, my
featuring
God,
Adam Scott.
yeah.
You guys were like, "Oh,
It
let's
just
go
rolled
into
on.
Hellraiser 4." I
Well,
was
no,
like,
it just showed up after.
Yeah, it just
Yeah, oh,
popped
that's right,
on,
that's
and
right.
then
I wasn't picking.
I was
that.
like, "Boys, I got like a half-hour drive. I'm going home."
Yeah.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
"We're gonna watch another one."
But young
Oh,
Adam
yeah.
Scott is his first like real role. He showed up on.
That's
I was
pretty
like, oh, there he is. I forgot he's in this.
Yep.
What is the we covered that whole thing where it's like horror movies are like people's first, like Kevin Bacon with Friday the 13th.
Yeah, there's a
and
lot.
Stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Johnny Depp, Nightmare on
Depp.
Elm Street.
Yeah, there's so many.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd was in one of the Halloween.
Yeah, he was Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween
Yeah, that's right.
6.
Yeah.
That's
Is it
right.
6?
Yeah.
Seth
So-
Rogen's in Donnie Darko, kind of a horror movie.
That's,
Oh yeah, I'll
man.
count it. I'll count it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
unsettling.
Yeah.
Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey are in Texas 4. They both had
Oh, man.
about a year or two of movies before that, but like that's close enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. Sorry, Jack.
No, it's all right. I finally watched Heathers.
Oh, that's a good one. I forgot you told me to watch
I
that.
did
yeah.
like that movie. I thought that was pretty cool. That was Christian Slater was
Yeah.
great in that. Winona Ryder, Beetlejuice time. She was great. I ended up watching Dante's Peak. And that's a great Brosnan movie. That's like right in the middle of his fucking 007 run.
I gotta rewatch that because it's been.
I hadn't
don't
seen.
think I've
I don't know
since
if I ever
elementary
saw
school.
it. I couldn't
I don't think
remember
I've seen it
any
either.
of it. It's so good.
That and Volcano, I would get confused all the time because they're like free on Cinemax at the same time.
And they came out, I think, like in the
Yeah.
same year. So
Yeah.
they're-
And then I watched this movie Bandits.
Dude!
With, Billy Bob Thornton and Bruce Willis and Kate Blanchett.
That was like an all time movie for me.
That's
as
a good
kid.
movie. They're like cons, and then they start robbing banks, and it's good.
Yeah, that is good.
So that's a watch. And then I watched Twister, because I then saw Twisters, and I mean, Twister, the original, is awesome. Twisters, I thought was great. Glenn Powell was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that I like him. Because he's got such a punchable face.
He really does.
He's like too handsome, but I'm
he's
like,
he's too old to be what they're doing. He's older than me, and they're like making him look. He's like a teen. He's like with Selena Gomez and all them little young rats.
Selena Gomez is like in her 30s too now.
Is she?
Yeah.
Well, he's great in the movie.
Yeah,
his character is awesome.
That's like me becoming a Backstreet Boy or something.
Dude, they're in their 40s.
I know, but like, never mind.
I don't know, I'm just.
But yeah, that's
Did you
all.
see it 40X?
No.
Dude, I'm so pissed.
it looks insane.
I know, but I just went to go look and stupid fucking.
I went
Deadpool
to
movie
I
is
saw
in
it down the
40X now.
shore.
Now you can't see. I've heard it's insane. In 40X.
I've been seeing the clip.
Like,
It's just like,
Yeah, I
it's
just
like
keep
you're
seeing
in the
TikToks
Twister.
I was
of like
like, oh, that's
people
the best
like
way to see it. But
getting ready to drink a soda and then everything just goes to shit. Like,
Well, I saw it down the shore at the Stone Harbor Theater, and like it's like an older theater.
I love
so.
that place.
Yeah,
did you have
it's
people
so
behind
cool.
you? Did you
that
have,
is a good. That is
did
a
you have
good
someone
point.
behind you going?
Cape Square.
Yeah.
There's one in
Yeah.
Cape May now that's
Oh,
very
really?
similar. That has like an arcade and a bar and everything in there.
Oh yeah, because then there's one in Rio Grande like that. Too.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, they
Frank's
have
Theater in
bowling
Rio
alley.
Grande.
They
Yeah,
have a bowling alley now.
yeah.
They have like a golf simulator. They have an arcade. They have a movie theater. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
The last movie I saw in Frank's Theater in Rio Grande was Jack and Jill.
Oh,
What a way to go out.
That's an
Oh,
absolute zero movie too.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Like
we
that-
yeah,
watched
because
it.
Frank got bought, and now it's Cape Square
Yeah.
there.
God,
Yeah.
he paid for that. That is one of the. I love
I
Adam
don't know.
Sandler. That is one
It
of
was
the
like
worst movies ever.
It was
made.
like rainy down there, and it was like me, all my siblings and cousins and stuff. There's like I don't know 10 kids, and we were all like, "What are we gonna do?" So we all
oh my
went to the
god!
movie.
So you all had to see that?
Yeah, they made us. No, I don't.
They made us.
Yeah.
Sing the Dunkachino song.
Yeah, we watched that for my friend's birthday because he likes zero movies, and so we all.
that's
I made
a
everyone.
negative
I rented it, made everyone watch it, and they were just like, "Dude, we're never doing that again."
Yeah.
There's parts where there's literally a joke, but there's not even background noise. There's not even background music, so it's just silent when the joke doesn't hit.
Yeah, it's not good.
But I mean, it's a coming of age thing. You gotta watch it, I guess,
I guess.
sometime.
So what did you watch, Keith?
Oh, whoa! Aren't we going around the?
Oh, were we doing a round, or are we going?
We go
Oh,
around.
you're just going.
All right, we'll go around.
going
I watched
figure
Day
eight?
of the Dead. Keith, what did you watch?
You watch any Bar Rescue or anything?
No Bar Rescue.
Got any, like,
John Taffer, he's been outsourcing it.
You got any like YouTube recommendations you watch? Any cool videos?
No, I started watching Lost because your girl.
Hey, she watched all
posted
6
about it.
seasons in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I
she's
always thought I was
crazy.
good. Like saw you guys the other day, and I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna see how far Olivia made it into Lost. She's like, yeah, I'm done. I was crying my eyes out this morning. I was like, oh, all right.
I woke up to her like crying. I was like, oh no, did I do something bad?
That
in the
show's a
dream?
lot to binge like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just has it on and on and on. I come home, she'd be like 2 seasons beyond where I knew. I'm like, I don't even know. I don't think I've ever seen beyond season 1, so I have no
Yeah,
idea.
but I've been watching that a lot. We did Day of the Dead, and then I started Arrested Development over again.
Oh.
Great show.
I've just been.
I love
That's
that.
always one that you go back
it's
to.
So good. Tobias Funke, David
Oh,
Cross in
man.
that show is probably the funniest character ever written on TV.
He's one of my favorite stand-up too.
Yeah, he's really good.
He kills me. His first 2 CDs are just unbelievable.
Insane.
Oh, he's so
They're
funny,
long
dude.
too. It's like a 2.5 hour stand.
The electric scissors bit. I'm like,
Yeah, but no, that's really it. I haven't really, and then obviously the movie that we covered today. But yeah, other than that, I didn't really watch anything crazy. Keith, what do you watch?
I got a lot of bullshit, but I'll go through the new stuff. That I did see. The new thing I saw was Deadpool Wolverine. My boy Andrew saw. That was incredible.
You and
I
Andrew
wish.
going to start a podcast after this?
Yeah, and it's just going to be. It's a 6-episode miniseries, and we just talk about Deadpool and Wolverine.
Honestly, you probably could. There's.
Really?
I'm not joking.
How long was the movie?
The egg.
A little
Easter,
over 2 hours.
The Easter egg video that my buddy said he was watching was an hour long. Think about that.
Oh
An
my
hour long
God.
video to explain all the things that are happening.
That's a lot.
For-
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, you could really dissect each little,
Dude,
each big reference that they make,
every 5 minutes.
and
something-
do an hour on it.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into
Yeah.
it, but if you like comic books at all,
Yeah.
like if you know anything about a Wolverine comic that they fucked up in every single adaptation of Wolverine or X-Men so far, other than Logan. Logan was amazing.
Yeah, that movie was.
Yeah,
really
Logan
good.
was good.
But they like hit you with like oh okay, and then if you don't know any of that, it doesn't matter. Like you're not missing. They
So
do
you
everything.
can just watch this as like
yeah,
you've
they
never
do
seen
everything so
anything.
fast and so smart that like if you've never heard of Deadpool or Wolverine, you can have fun the whole time.
Yeah, that's good.
But also,
That's
if
good.
you grew up with it, and also if you grew up with what X-Men was.
Well, my
you can
buddy
also
sent me like
enjoy
an
it.
X-Men refresher. like video
I think that helps.
that he watched.
The more you know, I feel
before-
like it rewards you for it.
Oh, yeah.
And I
I'll
think
send
it
that
even
to you,
rewards
Nick.
you
Yeah,
for
yeah.
following movie news. Like
Yeah.
if you're in.
Oh yeah,
if you-
yeah.
It definitely like if you keep up with like news and like castings and
Yeah.
cancellations and things, I think it rewards you for that.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah. The more, I guess, the more you know, the more you're gonna enjoy it. But like, you're also not gonna not enjoy it, even if you didn't know a
Yeah.
single thing.
No,
Like
that's
if you were
good.
6 and you're like, "Oh, my mom let me see this," you're like, "Wow, my mom let me see this."
Yeah. So what else did you?
I saw
what else did
that.
you
I went to Colonial last Thursday with my boy Eric, the OG. We saw Terminator in 4K, which was unbelievable.
Tell him about the blur.
Oh, you want to spoil that? You want to tell him?
No, Keith was
So-
a little bummed. What?
I've seen it in Blu-ray. I've seen it probably every way since VHS, but obviously I've never old enough to be seen in the theater. It was really, really, really even in the theater when it was out. And he was alive when Terminator came out, and he never saw it in theaters either. He got it on VHS the first time. So he's like, I never got to see it. So we were like, okay, this is gonna be crazy. So it's 4K audio and video. It was insane. I hadn't seen it in a theater at all. It was crazy enough.
Yeah.
But like everything was crisp, everything sounded insane.
Oh.
It was just awesome.
That's
but then
awesome.
the one funny part was I have just watched Terminator like 2 weeks ago maybe, and I was just sitting at home and I was just like sitting in front of my TV and I forgot like when he's naked, he's naked, and he's like walking up to those punks like he's just hanging like it's just slapping, and I was like even on my TV I was like damn, they really just like, they let him just rock with it. Well, that was the one thing they had cleaned up in this 4K release. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm like, well, I'm gonna be able to like count moles at this point if everything else is as crisp as it is. But it was like they blended it into a shadow. So he's like coming up, like you kind of see it, but it's not like I'm like, oh, we're in the second row. This thing is gonna be just.
It's gonna be.
Oh.
It's gonna be on my nose.
I was like, well, I'm seeing it with my buddy and his kids, so that would just be weird to talk about later. But
Release the dick cut.
and then they just like I guess they just were like, well, he's like been a governor, so they should just chill out, I guess. Like he probably
He's like, I want my fucking money back.
he's like put it away or whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever. So that's
This
what I
is-
saw in theaters. I'm sorry, that was awful.
Well, no, I think the only reason I brought that up is because the story, Keith and I worked together. I think you came to my cubicle
Oh, yeah.
at like 8 in the morning, and you were like, "Dude, I saw Terminator in 4K. Can you believe they blurred his dick out?" And I was like, "What's up?"
Oh, yeah.
Good morning.
I did fire that. Yeah, I have
he
to
was
watch.
like making coffee. He's like, "Yeah, dude. Like, you know the scene where he's walking naked?" He's like, "Yeah, dude. They blurred that part out." And I was like,
yeah, they did it like
What?
they just shaded it. They just shaded it better.
"Yeah."
I'm like, all right, whatever.
That was just funny. I thought I'd bring that up.
But yeah, okay, so that's what I saw in theaters, and then I did watch Bloodsport again because I love that movie. The T-shirt came in, I had to watch it. I did not get to watch Kickboxer, which I still think I like better. Because I got that on Steelbooks. I'm like, all right, I gotta watch that. So I'm gonna watch that this week. But I think the elements of Kickboxer are better, even though I love Bloodsport.
Do you have Bloodsport?
I do love Bloodsport.
Do you have Bloodsport on Steelbook? Is it?
I have
do
a
you
DVD of
Blu-ray?
that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Steelbook for that's like $50.
Yeah,
It's like an
really
import
worth
or
it.
whatever. The one on Kickboxer they had at Walmart. I'm like, yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah, shout out to Walmart.
Tong Po, dude, one of the greatest villains of all time.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I ever trained Muay Thai to begin with, was Kickboxer. I did watch The Last Boy Scout, which if you haven't seen that movie, that is an incredible movie.
That's on my
Tony
list.
Scott, yeah, that's just an action-packed Tony Scott, Bruce Willis, Wayans, and it is just like so ridiculous. But that was really good. And then our buddy Eric turned me on to The Villainous, which is like a Korean nod to, this is going to sound so up my own ass, a Korean nod to La Femme Nikita, which have you guys seen La Femme Nikita or know what it is?
You've told me about it. Though.
Where she's basically like a reprogrammed criminal that they basically make her into like a super soldier kind of like assassin.
like a sleeper agent type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Well, they basically took that idea, just like updated it heavily. This movie came out like 2017 or something, and just made it into like a whole like compound of these people that they basically like train these people to become killers. And it is just, it's
That
like
sounds bizarre.
John Wick on like John Wick meets Femme Nikita on steroids, but Korean on top of that. And it's just, I was just like, the whole time I was watching, I was like, what the fuck?
Was this on like where did you get this one? Was it
Oh,
like
I
on
don't know.
streaming
I
or
just,
something?
I
or
just,
did you
like Googled it. It was on something for free. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty solid though.
It was just like, I just Googled it. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna find this to watch.
I'm just gonna do it.
I don't really want to pay for it, and
Yeah.
I would have paid for it. It was insane. I'd
Yeah.
watch it again. Do I have
What else
anything
do you
else?
get? Give us one more.
One more. I did watch the RoboCop trilogy
Oh,
because
nice.
I got the 4K of that. RoboCop is one of the greatest action sci-fi, one of the greatest movies. Maybe
We gotta do RoboCop.
Insane.
That movie
Yeah, I
is
haven't
Like I
great.
feel like most
Wow.
people like equate if they don't really watch the first one, just kind of equate it to like, oh yeah, I've seen the TV show, or like, yeah, dude, it's like for kids or whatever, because that's
No,
kind of
it's
what it turned
not.
into. But that's the
Absolutely
first.
not.
First
Well, no,
one is
because it
definitely
ended up
not.
when I was a kid. Like there was a RoboCop cartoon, there was a RoboCop TV series that was like on TV. That was like my first exposure to it because that's what they did with it. Once they couldn't figure out what to do with the movies, they were like, oh, it's on lunchboxes, it's on T-shirts.
Yeah.
It was everywhere in like 1993. So I was like, that's my exposure to it.
Yeah.
And then finally I saw the first RoboCop movie, like, I don't know, as a teenager, and I was like, what the
That
fuck?
movie's brutal.
Because
dude.
two is like a little more crazy, but like less violent, and then 3 is just like almost like, all right, we're making this for kids. Like kids can watch this, but 1 is like absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Paul Verhoeven is like I still
he's
think
awesome.
his like 87 to like 2000 run of like, what is it? It's RoboCop,
Total Recall.
Total Recall, Basic Instinct,
Yep.
Showgirls, Starship, and then Hollow Man.
Yeah.
That is an insane run of movies.
That is an insane run.
Like
Yep.
they're all insane. They're all like they have their own social like commentary inside.
Yeah.
So it's like that type of movie, but then it's
this
like,
dude was just like sci-fi
Yeah.
left and right.
Yeah.
That was
Like-
basically it.
but it's like all different.
Yeah.
Like the closest ones are probably RoboCop and Starship, maybe. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe.
A little
But- Or Showgirls and Basic Instinct.
bit. yeah.
If you need a lot of
Yeah.
you mean. Yeah, I guess that's where I'll draw it.
That's where you're calling.
I also did watch The Dead Don't Die, which I didn't. I think I started this movie before.
Is that the Bill Murray Adam Driver one?
Yes,
How is that?
it's good.
Oh, that
it's,
was-
it
It's good.
starts.
I think I have the Blu-ray, but
if you
never
s-
watched it.
it starts a little bit slower than you want it to. I think that dude also. All right, one more movie.
That's
That
right.
dude also directed Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai.
Ah.
Watched that last week. I've seen it, but I watched it again. That movie's fucking crazy and
Yeah.
awesome. But anyways, that Don't Die, yeah, it was good. And it just starts a little slow, but you don't like it. Also, like starts rolling in the background faster than you think it is, and then it's just like
I feel like
and
I
you get
remember-
Iggy Pop as a fucking as a zombie, which is
it's pretty
insane.
great. I feel like that movie. I don't. Maybe it just like didn't get enough like publicity or something like that. I feel like when the trailers were out, I was like, this is gonna be.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
this is gonna be like Zombieland level.
that's the problem.
It's like an
Awesome.
all-star cast too. Like it's
like
not
there's-
just those two.
No,
right?
Rosie Perez is in it. Danny Glover, Steve Buscemi. Oh my God, one of the weird kids
Damn,
from
I don't know
Scream.
this many people.
Dude, it's like
right?
I think it's like 30 people. I'm not joking. Like it's like
It's
30.
like a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah, well, that's what
Yeah,
this
seriously.
dude Jim Jarmusch. There's no way I'm saying that last name right, but he does the same kind of thing as Wes Anderson, where he like RZA from Wu-Tang is in it.
Oh, that's
Because
pretty
Oh,
cool.
okay.
He
Yeah.
also was in. He also did the music for Ghost Dog and had like a cameo in that. So he like keeps
Yeah.
his same like group of mostly New Yorkers, I think.
And Bill Murray's there.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's like it's pretty. Jim Jarmusch, I think is his last. He does a lot of like
Yeah.
mostly kind of arty movies. Like that's what I mean. I think everyone thought it was gonna be Zombieland,
Yeah,
so they're like, "Oh, dude, there's gonna be fucking zombies everywhere." The zombies do come, but it's not.
not right away.
It's more of like I don't know,
It's a slow burn.
Takes a
Kind
while
of.
for them to come.
but they start fucking people up.
Yeah.
It's good.
And Rosie Perez is in it, so I mean, what else?
So great.
Her name's like Posey Juarez in it. In the
That's
movie.
pretty funny. We're like, all right, we forgot to get a name.
It was so cool.
No, those are some pretty solid picks. So if you're listening and you don't have a movie for this week to watch, that's kind of on you at this point. So should we get into the main event, Step Brothers?
Yes.
Let's do it.
So like I said, 2008 American comedy film directed by Adam McKay. Who wants to go over the cast? Anyone want to go over the cast? I can cover it if we want. All right,
Yeah, you want to cover it?
Why don't you
Take it away.
Yeah. So
Why
Will
don't you
Ferrell-
say the person, and I'll be like, I'll throw some of my spin on there.
Well, okay, Will Ferrell as Brennan Huff.
You might have seen him in Anchorman.
It would have been funny if you found a movie that all of them were also in, and for everyone you were like, you might have seen
Oh,
it, and it was the same
shit!
movie
I did have a
every
movie
time.
that I wanted to talk about that had that thing going on, but I can save it.
Okay.
Oh fuck! I had something I wanted to say because
What's the name of the movie?
The movie's called Love in a 45, but
Okay.
it has Renee Zellweger in it, Rory Cochrane in it, and the kid from Dazed and Confused in it. Like everyone sees
yeah.
confused.
None of those
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
are in Step Brothers.
Well, I know, but it was like one of those things where all these same people are in this movie, and then they're also in Empire Records like a year
Oh,
later.
that's pretty
So it's
cool.
like
okay.
Yeah.
they travel through movies. And I just watched that last night. My brain was like, oh my god, all these people are in this movie.
Is that a thumbs up or thumbs down movie?
Oh, it was great.
All right, so there you go. Another
All right,
movie.
another movie there.
So we had Will Ferrell as Brennan Huff, John C. Reilly as Dale Doback.
You might have seen him in a Boogie Nights or Magnolia. Maybe Casualties of War if you want to go back that far.
Mary Steenburgen as
You
Nancy
might have seen her in Elf.
Bergen as Nancy Huff. Richard Jenkins as Dr. Robert Doback. Adam Scott as Derek. Catherine Hahn as Alice, which she's incredible. Andrea Savage as Denise. Keith is really.
I was gonna keep trying, but you started going so fast, so I couldn't do it.
I had to pick it up.
He really stepped on you on there.
He's like, fuck you, dude, leave it.
I'm trying to think. There's not really a ton of other. We see some like random people. Oh, Rob Riggle's in it. Ken Jeong is in it.
And Rob Riggle's so good at
Yeah,
it.
Yes.
so good.
That's the
As he
amount-
always is.
That's
but,
the amount
yeah.
of he needs to be in anything is just that, and he just like you'll remember it forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give him
Yeah.
10 minutes of screen time,
Oh,
and he
And
will.
he's good. Seth
Yeah.
Rogen was in this. I think there's a ton of like small roles in
Just
it.
gotta
but I
throw
think-
out for Phil Lamar. He's in there for I don't know why. He
Yeah,
did this.
and his wife in it is
Oh.
somebody too. Oh, she's in the scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Erica.
where, Steve Carell's talking jive in the store at her.
Yeah.
oh my god, yes. Yup.
She's the woman screaming at Steve Carell in that
she's-
scene. I was like, why do I recognize her? And I had to look it up.
That's
And
pretty great.
Adam McKay actually plays one of the interviewers.
What one? For like one of their jobs.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
when they do all
He's
the
the,
interviews.
he's the or we're gonna interview you now guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's pretty funny. Did you guys have any notes about like the production or anything like this? Ooh, I forgot to do. So the budget $65 million and the box office was roughly $128 million, which is for a comedy. That's insane.
I wonder what it makes.
It's a
like,
big budget for a
That is-
comedy,
yeah,
too.
that is
Yeah.
a big
Especially
budget.
one this small.
So it was produced by Columbia, and then Gary Sanchez Productions, which is I feel like that's Will.
I think
Ferrell's
that's Will
production
Ferrell's,
company.
yes.
Yeah. So it's Will Ferrell and Adam McKay's production company. So it was. I mean, so it was a pretty major, pretty major studio picked it up. But yeah, it was pretty incredible.
Does
for
that
a
box
comedy.
office? Does that count like the DVD and rental sales after that?
I don't know.
Because this is probably the most. I don't know. This is
the
probably the
amount of
last.
T-shirts they sold on the boardwalk with
Yeah.
with the poster on it.
Yeah.
Because this might be the last like rewatchable comedy, like the one that I can think of that people actually still watch like all the time and talk about. Quote, like this movie is probably like everybody has paid for this movie at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next year we did get The Hangover.
Oh, The Hangover. Okay,
Yeah.
that probably is
Yeah.
that might
But
be
that might be the last one.
that one's probably the last
Yeah.
one though, right?
So-
And we can't talk about the sequels to that.
No. So this is
which are
some-
fine, but they're not. If you're gonna watch one of them, you're gonna watch
you
the
gotta
first
watch
one.
Yeah, you're gonna watch the first one.
It's true. This breakdown that I am. So the opening weekend, it made $31 million, and so that number 160 something million. What I just said, that was in the first 2 months of it being out. That's how much money it made, which is pretty wild.
Damn.
Oh, so
So-
it's just state. That's also
Yeah.
crazy. It
But
stayed
that
out
was
for 2
like Will
months.
Yeah.
Ferrell was like top name at
Yeah.
that point because he was doing all these comedies, so he was drawing a lot of names.
Oh yeah, it was. This is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So should we get into the
Yeah, I have one
into the
production
plot?
thing, and
Sure.
this is only because I didn't care about production for this movie, but I did see this. Supposedly there was going to be a rap album
Yeah.
between Ferrell and Riley, and I'm so glad that never came to fruition. Like,
Yeah,
I know
they
that
just
sounds
said-
that sounds like
Because
kinda
it would have
funny.
been your entire personality, or
No,
because
like
it
it
would have
sounds
been good.
it sounds kind of funny, like thinking about it. But dude, imagine that even 30 minutes of that would be.
That'd be great.
That'd be
though.
so much.
I
Yeah.
think that's diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have after Boats and Hose? What do you have? The remix and then
I don't know. Look at like the Lonely Island.
Yeah,
So-
that's different.
or Weird Al.
Or Flight of the Conchords.
Flight of the Conchords.
Aren't all these
yeah.
things different? Like these are guys that
They're all
like, can make
comedy.
music though.
No, they're
maybe
all like
you're right.
comedy duos.
Yeah, maybe you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I don't know. The Lonely Island is Andy
Yeah,
Samberg.
Dirt Nasty did
Like,
it. Dirt Nasty did it, so I guess anyone can, right?
Sure. Great.
Sorry, just go.
Okay. So Keith said we have to go. So let's
No,
blow
I'm just
through
kidding.
the
Take your
plot
time,
real
but
quick.
do whatever you want to do.
So this plot, let's get the speedweed plot. Ugh. All right. So 39-year-old Brennan Huff and 40-year-old Dale Doback are immature adults still living at home. Brennan lives with his divorced mother, Nancy, and Dale lives with his widowed father, Robert. Robert and Nancy meet, fall in love, and marry, forcing Brennan and Dale to live together as stepbrothers. Brennan and Dale initially despise each other, and after Brennan defies Dale and touches Dale's drum set, I'm just like...
Oh, he touched it.
Yeah, once with his testicle.
Does it say it on there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
thought
thought you were just going to
Yeah, no, that's written on my computer. A fight erupts between them. They are grounded with no television for a week and are ordered to find jobs within a month or be evicted. I feel like the other plots were so much easier to get through because they weren't this ridiculous plot. But anyway, so when Brennan's arrogant classist younger brother Derek, a successful classist is the word that he is described as, a successful helicopter leasing agent, visits the family. He openly ridicules Dale and Brennan, and Dale punches him in the face. Brennan is all that Dale stood up to Derek, while Derek's discontent wife, Alice, finds Dale's courage attractive and begins a sexual affair with him. Brennan and Dale's bond over their shared tastes and interests, particularly music. Dale and Brennan bond over their shared interest, tastes in particular music. Robert, meanwhile, schedules several job interviews for them, but they perform poorly when they are attacked on their way home by school children. Robert and Nancy reveal that Derek's helped them. Robert and Nancy reveal that with Derek's help, they plan to sell the house, retire, and travel the world on Robert's sailboat. They also sign Brennan and Dale up for therapy and set up bank accounts for them to live until they find work. Brennan is attracted to his therapist, Denise, but the attraction is not mutual. At Derek's birthday party, Dale and Brennan present a pitch for a video production company, Prestige Worldwide, that includes a music video, Boats and Hoes, which they filmed on Robert's boat without his knowledge. The presentation backfires when the video shows the boat crashing, shattering Robert and Nancy's sailing dreams and straining their marriage. On Christmas, Robert and Nancy announce they're getting divorced, upsetting Dale and Brennan, who blame each other. Brennan and Dale go their separate ways, live independently, and gradually become functioning adults. Brendan gets a job at Derek's helicopter leasing firm and volunteers to oversee a prestigious event, the Catalina fucking wine mixer. He hires the catering company that employs Dale and invites Robert and Nancy to attend. The party goes well until the lead singer of the hired Billy Joel cover band loses his temper with a heckler and is hustled away. Derek blames Brennan for the fiasco and fires him. Robert encourages Brennan and Dale to be their eccentric child at heart selves and perform to save the party. The pair take the stage and Brennan sings Por ti Valare while Dale accompanies him on drums. Derek is so moved by Brennan's performance that he and Brennan make amends, and Dale breaks off his relationship with Alice to her dismay. 6 months later, Robert and Nancy are back together living in their own house while Brennan and Dale have turned Prestige Worldwide into a successful entertainment company that owns various karaoke bars and clubs. Robert has turned his boat into a treehouse for Brennan and Dale to play in, and Denise confesses her attraction for Brennan. During the ending credits, Dale and Brennan exact their revenge on the school children who previously beat them up. What a bizarre, shitty... I got tripped up halfway through because I was like, this is so dumb. I love this plot.
You persisted, though.
Yeah, I did my best.
I closed my eyes for a minute there, and I could see the whole movie again.
Yeah, that's good. All right, let's dive in.
All right.
What do we want to talk about with this one? There's just there's too much.
Did you guys see this in theaters, by the way?
I did. I actually have a good story with that. I was 13 when this movie came out, and my mom took me to see this movie. And it was a little uncomfortable. Me and my mom have always liked the same kind of things. She's a big movie person, too. But this one was a little weird, too, especially Catherine Hahn's scenes.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable sitting next to my mom.
Yeah.
I think she pretended to not like it after it was over because...
Yeah.
She's like,
you can't crass.
That. Yeah.
Never again.
Meanwhile, it's their favorite movie.
Now it's on repeat every day.
It was pretty good. I think I saw this in theaters. I'm pretty sure. I saw the other one, so I had to see this in theaters. Because I was 20 when this came out. Yeah, I'm old. Yeah, so but I did have a similar one. So when I saw 40-Year-Old Virgin, I was just 17 maybe. But my friends, I was just the age where I get my ticket, but my friends were like 1 year younger. So they were like, that was probably when I don't know how long ago they stopped doing the cops at the theater, like checking IDs and stuff. But I remember they literally wouldn't let them in. And my parents were like, they were also going to the theater that night. So I called my dad. I was like, yo, Dad, are you guys going to the movies? And they're like, yeah. I was like, AMC? And they're like, yeah. Like, what are you guys seeing? And they're like, 40-Year-Old Virgin. I was like, here's a question. Would you mind helping out my friends that can't get in? And they're like, sure. So they bought my friends' tickets. Nice. We all went to the movie. we sat in different rows, but afterwards I was like, I forgot we were watching the same movie, and then afterwards I saw him outside, and I was like,
That was
there's some scenes in that one too where I was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, good movie, and they were just like, didn't want to see it with you in the same room, but I guess that's where we are now.
I feel like that
Like, I was old
this
enough.
style of comedy movie. It was like 40-Year-Old Virgin. There's like a whole bunch of these type of movies that were all very similar.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, like, what would you say was the last movie like this that came out?
I think you said it.
The Hangover.
The
But I feel like The
Hangover,
Hangover
yeah.
is more like set in the real world than these other.
Yeah.
I guess the
Yeah.
40-Year-Old Virgin kind of is too.
Because you have just
Step Brothers is kind of surrealist
Yeah.
because even the people playing straight get
Yeah,
silly at times.
yeah.
Like Richard Jenkins with the dinosaur speech
Yeah.
at the end.
Bro.
Stop being
Yeah.
a fucking
Shorten up
dinosaur.
my arms and wander around the yard. He's like,
But yes, you have between him and Judd Apatow, they were kind of running this. 'Cause
Yeah.
you have him,
Yeah.
40 Year Old Virgin. What? This is 40.
knocked
that
up.
movie's
Knocked
great.
up.
But the
And
other
then-
guys was after this.
The
and
other guys was after this. Too.
That was really.
That's definitely the
Oh,
same vibe.
shit, that's
where it's-
2009 as
No
well.
one's a real person
Yeah.
in that. Like it's
That's
Yeah.
probably my favorite, like later
That's
one.
so funny.
Oh my god.
But
It is very good.
yeah, I
the
mean, there's
desk
it's
pop,
crazy.
dude, that gets me every time.
There's so many of those movies like that came out like so like in that era, and then it was like done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't know if it's good, but did you guys see Due Date with
Yeah.
Galifianakis and Downey
Yeah, that's
Jr.?
I
really
remember
good.
liking it.
Yeah, it's like a
like-
modern
It's pretty
Planes
funny.
and Trains kind of.
Yeah.
It is.
I thought it was good. It got shit on, but I was
Yeah.
like, this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like Galifianakis in this is crazy.
He is nuts.
Oh my
You know what I love in this movie though is when they first meet
Oh, yeah.
and that LCD sound system song's playing, and it's just like has them standing there, and Step Brothers comes up,
Yeah.
and then he's like, I'm Dale, but you have to call me Dragon. he's like, I'm Brennan, but you have to call me Nighthawk.
Who do you think, like, a question that who do you think was weirder out of the two Step Brothers? It's a toss up.
That's a big
Probably.
question.
I don't
was
know
weirder?
because John C. Reilly is like he started out as a serious actor, like as a Casualty of War he was serious.
No, I'm saying like
Just
in
as
the,
a
like,
character.
as a character.
Oh, as a character.
Yeah, like what if these two, if
Probably
Dale and
Dale.
Brennan were real people, who would be weirder? And why? Why do you pick Dale?
I think Dale too.
I think Dale.
Dale
'cause-
definitely shits in his pants and sits in it.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get from that guy.
Well, I love the conversation where he's like, when he's like, Dad, he's like, we can't just be having like this woman move in. He's like, we're men. We like to shit with the door open, go on riverboat gambling trips. He's like, we've
Make our
literally
own beef
never.
jerky.
He's like, we've literally never done any of those things.
Yeah, I
Brennan
think
feels
he's-
like he's almost like he's like an 11-year-old stuck in a
Yeah.
man's body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where Dale is just like, this is a weird dude.
He's
I
just
would have
a
left this
weird
guy
dude.
alone in a room with someone I care about.
right. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the separation there. Yeah. Because Dale could pass as like if you saw him, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's just a guy that's
He's just like a little
he's
quirky,
tall,
dude.
weird, old,
Yeah.
but doesn't have together. Yeah, like you said, I don't think I'd want
Yeah.
to be alone with
Yeah.
or send a loved one into a room with this guy.
Well, that
Yeah.
scene you were just talking about, and then he's like, he goes, "What if I get out of the shower and I'm looking real good?" And he's like, and she comes up, grabs my wiener, and he's like, "Shut the fuck up!"
He says, "Oh my God, I've had the old bull. Now I want the young cat."
I do think Richard Jenkins is the unsung hero of this movie.
Oh,
I think his
he's
reactions
so
to them
good.
is so good.
He's so good.
Yeah,
my favorite Richard Jenkins probably can just go for an image is when they're telling the Bonita story and he's like, Dad, why are you acting that way? And he's at the end of the table. He's just like,
yeah, he's
Yeah.
got his
for all the
hand.
viewers, like you can see what I'm doing. It's the hand on the face that
Yeah.
Yeah,
that like loving, that weird, like creepy,
like he's got a crush on
Yeah.
him.
doing
he's
that
like,
weird
oh,
laugh,
man.
like,
like
Yeah.
he's in a situation where he's had the old bull and he's looking at the young calf now. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro,
yeah.
oh, fuck, man. Leave
He's
him
like, "Are
alone."
bonita fish big?" And he's like,
God damn it, Dale.
He's like, "They're a trophy fish, so yeah."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I'm guilty with the stories."
He's like, "Don't be mad at Dale for ruining the story and possibly the evening. I have many stories." Yeah.
He's like, "I can't remember where I was going with that story." He's like, "God damn it, Dale!"
So mad. It's all he has. So this line, another Richard Jenkins line that Emily and I say is something her family, like, this was a big movie in their family, but I didn't maybe this is like something I didn't realize until very recently, but when their marriage is falling apart and stuff like that, his bar of choice is the Cheesecake Factory.
It's so sad. It's like worse than Applebee's somehow.
Yeah.
But like
It's
that,
worse.
that's so. Because Emily will say all the time, I'm like, if we're hanging out or something, I'm like, yeah, what are you gonna be up to? She's like, I'm gonna go to the Cheesecake Factory. And it's such a funny, like, specific line because you can
like,
picture like that's the saddest place to get a drink, just like
oh,
by
yeah.
yourself.
And she's like, it's Christmas, and he's like, oh yeah, Merry Christmas.
She's like, well, you reek of what whiskey and cheesecake. And he's like, I'll tell you, that was the most fun I've had in weeks.
I'll say when I was watching it, I hadn't seen it in a minute, and I was thinking the popularity of it is almost to its deficit because every unfunny guy I've ever met always will scream out random quotes in this movie.
Yeah.
To the point like a Borat way where it's now become an eye roll, and I'm like, oh. It's like I almost start to resent it for existing because of
It's like Anchorman too.
Anchorman's the same way.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching it and I'm like, nah, this is legitimately hilarious. Even I feel like
Bill's just
over
not funny.
time, the line, why are you so sweaty? Because I was watching Cops might be one of the funniest lines ever written.
Cops.
And I'm like, I'm so desensitized to it because I've heard it so many times.
He's like, I know, Cops is on at 4.
But that's what you were saying. Someone was talking about your buddy at work was talking about Fight Club being that, like, oh, I never wanted to see that because everybody was like, talking about it, everybody was into it. But it's like sometimes you got to like separate yourself from what other people are doing and saying and thinking like, okay, is this legit funny? And this one is, like you said, hilarious. And like some of the lines are like, yeah, if some dipshit at the bar has to say, you don't say that.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I knew exactly what you were going to say.
Oh my god! I didn't know which one you. I was just going to say one of the 20 things that people say from this movie. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts. I feel like when we
but
think
like,
about
you know what I
that
mean? Like you're like,
afterwards,
all right, well, that guy's not
shit,
funny.
That was really
but like,
good.
you're like, but then like, but this is
because there's even better, and not that it's not funny. There's like, it's every line in this movie is a hit.
Dude,
like it's
my favorite repeatable is Dane Cook pay-per-view 20 minutes. Let's go. Anytime I'm trying to leave somewhere, that's what I'll say.
Yeah,
I love at the wedding at the beginning when it's my other son couldn't be here. He had an important fishing trip.
I didn't want salmon.
I said it four times.
That's
so good.
But the opening scene in this movie too. So I said it when we announced the movie. The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. The opening song in this. So those nachos that he's making in the beginning. Did you guys eat those growing up?
Hell yeah. That was a
Yeah,
sleepover. That was a Friday, Saturday sleepover.
What did you call them? Because Emily did not eat these. My wife did not eat these
just
growing up, and
nachos.
she was like,
Nachos,
"Bring this up." I called them cheesy nachos, and I don't know why.
Oh yeah, she roasted you for that. She's like,
Oh.
"What other kind of nachos do you have? Non-cheesy?" And I was
were
like,
at work in
I
a
was like,
meeting.
"No, the kid was probably like 13, just having cheesy nachos."
But those go so hard.
Oh, dude,
It's like the most underrated.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna say
they're good.
snack at this age, but meal when I was 10.
yeah. You just and like there'd be 3 of us, me and my 2 buddies. We would just devour a whole bag of chips. Stack of chips,
So good.
loaded cheese, stacked chips, loaded cheese, loaded on top.
Yeah.
You got your microwave time, and then we all went down to the basement and watched.
You guys
Chainsaw
would watch
Bob.
the lady workout shows, and, right?
All right, dude. We watch Wild On, sure. With
wait for those commercials of Comedy Central late at night.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm gonna. You guys. I'll be right back. No, but I don't know if you guys remember Wild On with Brooke Burke or whatever.
No.
Is it on the E?
Yeah, I remember
channel?
that.
Remember that shit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember that.
Yeah.
Whatever. No, we'd watch.
It's the
We'd watch
over
Jane
30
Silent
Right,
Bob.
right before the Stern show came on.
It was either honestly, it was a weird array of movies. Either Jane Silent Bob, American History X, or I don't know.
Great double feature.
Like
Yeah,
it would just be like
movie.
for some reason like we only had some movies.
Yeah,
Or like Scream, and then I forget there was something else we watched.
but you would slam the nachos.
No, the nachos were just down there no matter
Incredible.
what. But Dumb and Dumber
No
was
matter
our
what
probably
we
our,
No
watched.
matter what.
Dumb and Dumber was probably our most watched sleepover
Yeah.
movie ever.
Oh yeah.
So good.
That's just like a movie I've probably seen 60, 80 times at this point, just because it was like, oh, what are we putting on? Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
Because it's the best movie.
But the opening of this one, like, so I think in the argument of who was weirder, he was just making nachos and then like being weird with the yoga commercial. Dale is crushing Guitar Hero in his underwear.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it's
Oh yeah, that does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that proves the case.
So
that
then we
Dale
have
might
to-
have been weirder.
Okay, so we'll have to keep compiling evidence.
That's a
as we
point.
talk about
Point
it.
for Dale being weirder.
Okay, so Dale's weirder because you saw him crushing nachos to yoga videos,
Yeah.
but we just wouldn't trust our boy
Brennan.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
no, that's
no.
another point for Dale. Two points
that's
for Dale.
what I said. I said 2 points for Dale. Dale is
I confused myself.
2-1 weird. Dale. All right.
Sorry.
Anyway,
I retreat
continue.
back into my
What
hole.
else
Well,
we
it's
got?
crazy how it starts, like how they meet, like Richard Jenkins and Mary Steenburgen meet, and then they start then they do the wedding, and then it cuts the scene while they're driving,
God, yeah.
and she's like, he's like, I'm not calling him dad, and she's like, you don't have to call him dad.
It's like, Brennan, you're 39 years old. You don't have to...
He's like, well, I'm not going to ever, even if there's a fire.
I don't know how they like if he just like off the cuff yelled that in the back of the car, like how could you not break for some of these lines?
I was watching a behind the scenes thing earlier, and they did this movie like almost entirely improv because of the improv scenes they were able to do with Talladega Nights. So the story for this they made up purely so that they wouldn't have to stick to a script.
Yeah, so
it's pretty much everything is an improv, and like
That's hilarious.
Richard
just go as
Jenkins and
weird
Mary
as they wanted
Steenburgen like aren't
Yeah.
improvisers, but they had to kind of get used to it.
To it. Yeah, because then he also says he's like he's a medical doctor, and he's like, well, so you went to Johns Hopkins? He's like, nah, I smoked pot with Johnny Hopkins.
It was Johnny Hopkins and Sloan Kettering.
They were blazing that shit up all day.
He's like, better not get my face. I'll drop that motherfucker.
But how he meets her is insane. He's just talking, all of a sudden he's just staring
Yeah.
at her, and he's just, and I'd like to put my face between those.
Oh, it's like an ear. It's like he sells like hearing aids.
Yeah.
That's
He just-
wild.
he
Like
just
a
says
full
during his
event.
speech.
and the next thing you know, they're in some room, and then they start making out, and then they start telling each other about when they start telling each other about their dreams, and then they talk about their kids, and I'm like, all right, that's you're not really gonna find a better match than that, my friend.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's some
wholesome
Arrested
for them.
Development.
Call back to the beginning.
When Dale's giving the tour of the house,
Oh my god.
and he's like, in here, this is my drum set. He's like, it's my beat laboratory.
Yes.
And he does have a nice ass drums. He's got a D drum set.
He's got like wind chimes and
Yeah.
like all this stuff. It's like, but it's so funny when he's like showing him around.
Yeah.
He's like,
the
don't
house
ever
is
go in
built-
here ever.
Like General Custer. He's just like, what? Oh my goodness.
I do think it's so funny the idea of two 40-year-old men having to share a bedroom in twin beds.
Yeah. I do. I mean, there's even like the all throughout the movie, they're like yelling at each other. And he's like, "You're gonna wake my dad up. I'm gonna be grounded." Yeah, but that's another great scene where he's talking about. They're basically like, as they're going to sleep, and he's like, "You better not fall asleep." And he's like, "As soon as you close your eyes, I'm gonna get his pillowcase, fill it full of bars of soap, beat the shit out of you." He's like, "You better sleep. You better sleep with your eyes open." Oh man,
Then he
You're not
says,
moving when you sleep. I'm gonna put a rat catcher,
rat trap in your
rat
legs.
trap in your legs.
I always love the part where he says something about the mom, and he goes, "You don't say that."
But I'm trying to think of other scenes to talk about, but it's literally the whole movie.
Well, the
is
scenes
to
where
talk
they're
about.
doing like the interviews,
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
and they're just going to each interview, and they're in like tuxedos, and they're interviewing together,
Yeah.
and then they finally get the job. Seth Rogen's like, you know what? You guys seem like a guy I want to hang out with. Like,
Yeah.
you guys got the job, and then he just lets out that horrible. And he's like, "Was that a fart?" He's like, "Yeah, I could taste it."
Mustard?
It was onions, and ketchup.
Onions and ketchup. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
But when he gets home, Richard Jenkins after the interviews,
Yeah.
and he's like, "That's it, no TV for 2 weeks or something." And he's
Yeah.
like, and they're like,
This place is a
"Are you
prison.
kidding me?" And he's like, "This house." What do you say? This is house is a fucking prison on planet bullshit in the galaxy of this sucks camel dicks.
That's wild. And they're watching Shark Week when they're...
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that... Oh, that... Because then they get in the fight, too.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of... I think I'm thinking of another scene.
It comes
When they get
later,
in the
but
fight.
we can go. We can go right into
Yeah.
that because that's what
So
that's
that was
why I want to
earlier.
name this.
Yeah.
That's why I want to name this episode. Who shot first, Dale or Brennan?
Oh, the
instead
double
of,
swing.
instead of Han or Greedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do actually have an answer for you. I've rewound it many times.
Oh, okay. So
It's like
this
it's
is...
like a
Go to the
reser-
tapes.
So-
It's like a
Keep
Reservoir
set
Dog
the-
situation where you rewind that
Oh,
shot
yeah,
and
you
see who
gotta-
shoots first and figure out that they actually not all the shots line up. But this one,
So set the scene. What was going on before this fight?
oh, someone hasn't seen this movie. Oh, why? Yeah, what? Oh, we want to talk about it? All right.
You're like, oh, what? It's so obvious. Wait, what did happen?
Oh yeah, no, I do remember. Well, they get. Well, he
They fight.
Dale. No, Brennan is at home by himself, and you hear what is the song that keeps playing when he keeps getting tempted to go into the room?
Oh, it's like
I was like,
I don't know how to do it, but
he's fucking with
you
his
know
drums.
the song. Yeah, so he
Yeah.
takes his he's messing with his drum. Well, he plays his drums first,
Yeah.
probably really well, and then he comes home, asks him, "Do I have to do this?" He comes home, asks him like, did you touch my
You do
drum
have
set?
to do this to
And
answer your
he's like,
question.
He's like, "No, I didn't touch your drum set."
Yeah,
He's like, "Why are you so sweaty?"
Watching cops.
And then he's like, "I know you touched my drum set." And then
It's a left one. There's a chip in it.
so he finally he gets frustrated enough, and then he goes and takes his gargantuanly long nuts.
Yeah, which Will Ferrell, that was the only prop from Step Brothers that he took. He has the fake testicles.
So I was googling something else about Step Brothers, and then there was a thread that said like, these were. I don't know why I did not Google nuts, but there was a Reddit thread that popped up that said those were Will Ferrell's nuts.
No, I was listening to a
I know they're not because that's insane, but
he was on a podcast like a couple months ago.
he just took the nuts with him.
And he brought the box that has them with him, and he said like he's basically like they were talking about all his movies, and they were like, "Did you keep any of the props from it?" And I think he has something from Elf. I think he's like one of the costumes from Elf.
Yeah, he cops from Elf, nuts from. Step
And they were like,
Brothers.
did you take anything from Step Brothers?" And he's like, "I actually brought them here." And they were like, "Is it the nuts?" And he's like, he like looks around. He's like, "I actually didn't clear that I was going to take these when I took them, so I'll just flash them real quick." And then he's just like, and holds them up.
There's like there's some heavy long nuts.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So he's like,
it was like a
"John Donald."
waistband. Well, I mean, obviously you had to secure it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
John Bonham's playing Moby Dick for real. And he just slammed. And that's my favorite drummer growing up too. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is the best.
You're like, yeah, dude, don't.
So
slam
he
Bonham
slams the
like
balls,
that.
and then I think it cut. They start fighting.
Yeah,
and
then
it
they
cuts,
start, and then they go out to the
cuts
yard.
to the mom getting the call, and they come back, and then they're just going after it, saying things I won't repeat. But then, yeah. So the answer is Brennan actually hits him first.
Really?
Yeah.
What weapon does he have?
He has the golf club, and then because you hear the golf club hit, and then the. So it's like a.
Yeah.
So if it Han or Greedo, I mean, who knows?
Who
You know,
knows?
if you turn that camera slightly.
She's like, Robert, they're like animals.
There's a.
So I watched the unrated one again by accident, and I don't remember.
I also did.
Does she get attacked by the dog? In the one you watched?
The dog is out there. I don't think in the regular one she doesn't.
In the unrated one, she gets taken by a dog, and I kind of
Yeah.
forgot.
Oh, really?
I kind of forgot because like I've seen it so many times unrated.
Yeah.
And then when we watched it the first time because we were going to do it a couple weeks ago, I watched the regular one, and that wasn't in it. And I just felt there was a couple of things that were missing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was one of the scenes that I always remember is the dog like viciously takes her down, and it's kind of crazy and hilarious.
That scene when you meet the dog too, so they get home. It's like when
Hello.
they move in, and he's like, "Oh, hey Don, is that your wife?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can I come over later and touch your face?" She's like, "Sure."
Yeah.
And then the dog's name is Cinnamon, and they got just like a normal dog to play that dog. So it was like it's set up like it's a seeing eye dog, but the dog's just pulling him everywhere. So every time you see him, he's like, "Cinnamon, Cinnamon," like trying to pull the dog.
The
in.
final heel cinnamon was my favorite. That's my favorite part.
But
I love that shit.
It's so dumb. So who swung first again?
Brennan.
Brennan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brennan hits him first.
Yeah, that
So
and
if
those
it-
are like good. Those are solid hits.
I mean, if you got hit with that
It
golf
is.
club.
It's like a ooh when
Yeah.
they
Like,
they hit
it's
each other. It's
yeah.
like ooh.
Yeah.
So I actually just watched RoboCop 3 also this week, and there's a Dale and Brennan situation where these two android samurais.
Where two 40-year-olds are living
They
with their
swing
parents.
samurais. They get reprogrammed to instead of attacking RoboCop, they attack each other, and they chop each other's head off one after the other, just like this. Dale and Brennan.
Nice.
So I'm gonna throw that out there for anyone
Something for the kids back home.
that, you wanted to go check out RoboCop 3 just to make sure I'm not lying to you.
That's fair. What other scenes do you want to talk about?
I just want to talk about how funny Adam Scott is
He is great.
as Derek.
What's up, people?
And when they're singing in the car,
Oh my god.
it's like, there you go. And then his wife starts singing, and he's like, horrible. He's like, $1,000 of singing lessons a month.
Yeah.
This is what I get. He's like, bring it home, buddy.
Yeah, the
it's just
son.
like,
It's like you're the oldest.
You're the oldest.
Tommy.
yeah, I'm counting on you.
Counting
And he's
on
like
you.
ripping his wife so
He's like, "No, I'm gonna
bad.
have to save it with his solo. Bow,
Yeah.
I can sing high. And then they almost crashed the car.
He does
Dude.
do Despicable Dick real well. Almost too well.
So good, dude. Yeah, when he goes up in the
He's
treehouse,
It's like, what's up, friends?
he's
Dude,
like,
that
just
part
smoked the blunt,
kills
feeling a little spacey.
I did. Oh, I did production. I do have a note that those were actually his abs.
Really?
I just thought, oh yeah, they just cut away because they don't show him.
It looks like the fakest thing.
No,
There's
but
no
it
way
does.
those are his abs.
No, it's been confirmed.
By who?
There's absolutely no
I swear
way.
to God, Google it.
It doesn't even look like it's the same size torso.
No.
I know. I'm telling you though. I'm telling you.
know.
For years I just assumed it was a fake person. I went to look it up today to see.
Really?
But, yeah, we'll let you do that while we talk.
Huh.
All
I'm
right,
gonna look
Catherine,
at you while
can
I
we
Is
talk
talk
about
Adam
this whole
Scott
thing.
ripped?
I guess he hasn't had
That's
carbs
the
since
new
2004. So I mean,
Yeah, he looked better than Brad Pitt in Fight Club.
all
That's
right,
wild.
I will say this: Brad Pitt in Fight Club obviously looks great. He's got no legs.
Yeah.
No legs at all. That's the thing. They don't show his legs. And then my buddy Sean sent me the Brad Pitt workout, which they just craft a 4-day workout and just say this guy did this and did that, whatever. But that's what it was. It was like chest, back, arms.
It's all show
Yeah.
muscles.
No leg. I'm like, dude, why do we blow? You can't blow over in the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's
you can,
true.
yeah, sure, you can cut your carbs, but you can blow over in the wind. You can't have that. Adam Scott.
Can
Killed
blow over
easy.
the wind.
He got beat up by Dale. He got hit, and that was it.
He's got Dane Cook.
He got hit by a
like,
moron.
He's like, you want to punch me, don't you?
Yeah.
He's like, do it.
He's like,
do
I
it.
lather these in keels
It's
every day. What does he say? I lather these bad boys and lather these babies in keels, or what the fuck
Or
does he
something
say?
every day. Yeah, I can't remember what exactly.
But
he
Catherine
says.
Hahn, his wife,
She's awesome.
If you go line for like percentage of hit on each line, I think she hits every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She kills.
She's
great in
She
everything, but
fucking kills me.
She is great in this.
Oh my god.
I love seeing. Do you watch? Have you ever watched Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So her, Adam Scott, and her are both two characters that and they're in it for like a while, and they're equally as hilarious in that show. Just like, but everything she's in.
Have
is,
you ever
like,
seen
perfect.
Party Down?
No.
It's a show he did
Yeah.
before. You seen that?
I've seen
It's
that.
like a Showtime show he did
Yeah.
before.
That's pretty
Oh,
funny.
That's pretty good.
It's good. Yeah.
It's
They're
not
like
a-
they're like a
in it, too.
catering.
Yeah,
Martin Starr and Lizzie
yeah,
Kaplan.
yeah,
Yeah, they're like
I've
a
never seen it,
catering
but I know of
company.
it.
It's pretty
It's
funny.
not as obviously not as good as
Yeah.
Parks and Rec or as Silicon. Do you see Silicon Valley?
I've seen some of the first
Because
season.
he kills in Silicon Valley.
Is Adam Scott in that?
No, the other guy.
Oh, Martin Starr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's just everything in this movie is awesome. But Andrew, I saw you had a ton of notes, right? Did you take any notes? Did you talk about any scenes?
Not
I knew you were
really.
gonna
I didn't
steal
have anything
Jack's, but
specifically. Well, I guess I did have some specifically. I mentioned it earlier that I think the T-Rex scene at the end is fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, this is when he's trying to convince Dale and Brennan to go up and sing, and basically
Yes.
like, hey,
Yeah.
it's
Follow
okay
your
to be a
dreams
kid.
speech.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that song choice is perfect because it needed to be played straight and be a serious scene. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Will Ferrell's so good at playing it straight.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
Um,
I love how Dale's in the background going, boats and
yeah, just
hoes."
Yeah.
every few lines, just a boats and hoes.
Yeah.
It cuts to Rob Riggle, and he is just like breaking down in tears during the song too, which is just so good. But yeah, there's just so many good ones. What else? What else we got? I'm trying to think of.
Rob
scenes.
Riggle.
I was
Rob
just
Riggle.
talking about
They're
when
all good.
I
Like,
take back what I said. Line for line, I think Rob Riggo might have the 100%
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah.
He destroys. Like, you just remember
Yeah,
everything.
better batting average probably, but he has
Yeah.
less.
Yeah, he has less, but he's like a home run hitter.
The bunk bed scene's pretty.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
my God.
That's so
Yeah.
good.
And then when it cuts to him just with a little cut on his finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
we're wondering if we could make. He's like, we have so much more room for activities.
Oh my god!
And
And the
then
line he delivers as he collapses bunk bed is, "I forgot to ask you, do you like guacamole?"
He jumps up.
It doesn't even
Like
finish.
that's a thing that's been on his
Yeah.
mind that he has to ask.
Yeah.
Guacamole is being said
Yeah.
as it's collapsing. And I'm dying. I'm like, dude, that's so
Yeah.
funny.
The whole sequence when they actually like find out that they're gonna be buddies is like he has the samurai sword signed by Randy Jackson.
It's like, you see this little black smudge?
Yeah.
Look a little closer. I'm like,
Pretty recognizable signature. It's like Randy Jackson from American
Yeah.
Idol. He's like, why did he sign that? And he was like, well, I bumped into him and I had on me was the sword. And you're not gonna not get Randy Jackson's autograph. He's like, I would have done the same thing.
so they ask 3 questions, right? They
They
ask
ask
3
three
questions.
Oh,
They answer at the
yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
It's what's your favorite
Favorite
Dinosaur.
non-pornographic magazine to masturbate to.
And it's
Good
Good
housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Favorite dinosaur, Velociraptor.
and then,
And what was the other one?
I know the answer, but I can't remember what the wording of it is. It's
What was the
If you
names?
were a chick, who's the one guy you'd sleep
sleep
with?
John
John
Stamos.
Stamos. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, did we just become best friends?
Should we all answer that question? Those questions right now?
Oh, should we answer them? All right, do you want to answer the questions? we have the same all at the same time, that'd be really funny.
Sure.
All right, what's your? It's gonna be on
That
3.
first one's hard. I don't.
The dinosaur.
Or the
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 magazine
magazine.
Oh yeah, because I mean you're gonna expose. We're all adults.
Yeah.
highlights.
Oh well.
I mean,
That's the last
parade.
episode. That's the last episode. Can't do another one after that. I was
I
hoping
was
you were
just
gonna
trying
say
to
like
think
the
of like
JC
every
Penney's.
comedy, every like, what's the most serious magazine that you can think of? And mine was Yankee Workshop, which was the woodworking magazine, which I just thought that'd be funny.
Yankee Works. That's a
Yeah,
that's a deep.
They had the
cut, dude.
show too with what's his name.
There's no
Yankee
way you
Workshop.
think I know what that is.
You know Yankee Workshop?
No, dude.
It sounds like a candle magazine.
No, it's I promise.
Yeah, dude. For all those,
Yeah.
you know.
No, it's
I
just
don't know,
a dude in
woodworkers.
like a flannel in like the '90s, and he'd be like, "I'm gonna walk you through building a cabinet," and like he was
like
the
this
only
old
one
house.
there.
Oh.
Yeah, this old house. But there was a magazine called Yankee Workshop.
Yeah. Okay. I missed that subscription.
Yeah, but you got the This Old House one. So, all right, favorite dinosaur.
I got to agree with them and go Velociraptor.
Velociraptor.
Yeah, Velociraptor kind of slams. I might go Gallimimus because it's close to my last name. They kind of go hard in the movie.
What is a Gallimimus?
Have you not seen Jurassic Park? They're little guys. They're like the little ones that swarm up.
He
on
has seen
Is it
Jurassic
before
Park
the
because we just
giant
did
stampede?
Jurassic
Yeah,
Park.
the ones that they're like
we just covered that episode.
yeah, they're like this big. The Gallimimus.
Yeah, I just didn't know that's what they
The
were
little
called.
kid, he's a nerd. He's like, oh, that's the Gallimimus, and then
Yeah.
they're ferocious.
Oh, that's true. And then in what was it 2? When they go back, they all kill the guy. That one guy, right?
Yeah, they all swarm
Yeah,
somebody.
they all
yeah.
swarm him.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that little thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, whatever. I'm just joking.
I mean,
But
T-Rex
all right, let's get to the
is
important
pretty
one.
sweet.
Yeah.
Let's get to the important man. Who's the man that you would?
Oh, dude, Bobby Flay.
Curveball. And you said it as if we were all going to agree.
I didn't see that.
No, that's
thought you were gonna
that's a
hit me
little
like
joke
Marky
for
Mark or
Emily
something.
back home. We were watching Beat Bobby Flay, and I'd had a couple drinks, and I said, like, we hadn't said a word to each other in probably 2 episodes, and I just go, I don't know, Em, I think Bobby Flay is kind of hot. And that was the only thing I said to her. And in the moment, I was like, oh, that'd be funny to say, and then she really ran with it. So yeah,
That's your guy. Okay.
yeah, we're really
Didn't see
telling
that
a lot.
coming.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming, but I'm with it. We all know who Jack would pick.
Oh, his
Fucking
honey boy,
landslide.
dude.
Yeah, obviously, Adam Scott and Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Just be mean to me.
Make fun of me.
Holy shit.
This took a weird turn.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to other scenes
Yeah.
in this show, in this movie.
I like when they ask him about the bunk beds. And they're like, can we do our bunk beds? And he goes, you can do whatever you want. You're adults. He's like, so, and he's like, let me be clear. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
No power tools.
He's like, oh, it's my toothbrush. He's like, that is not your toothbrush.
He's like, well,
no
almost done
drills.
anyways.
It's done. And he's like, oh, okay.
And the way they configured it, like with hockey sticks and shit.
Oh my
like,
God.
So
Oh, it's terrible. I could have done better as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Oh.
And then the Christmas presents too. He just like all the things that they get hype with each other about. Like they're opening. They're like, would it be cool if we opened one Christmas present? He's like, oh, Hulk hands. He's like, Dale got Hulk hands.
I loved at the end when they pop out of the treehouse and they both have the Chewbacca masks
Chewbacca
on.
masks,
I love it.
yeah.
It's okay that mine's not movie quality.
yeah.
But even the when they're talking about after their parents say like you need to move out, basically like we're selling the house. He's sitting there in his Chewbacca mask and he's like, and it's weird, like, and now we're getting kicked out because they think we're losers, and he's sitting in the Chewbacca mask. Oh man,
To the part where Brennan finally sings,
Oh, dude, yeah.
that
Yeah.
kills me.
oh the
'Cause
first
he's
time,
like-
the
He's like, I
people
can't even
are
look at you.
talking.
Yeah, and he's.
Yeah.
I love when he goes, talk about love, Louvre. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like, you have the voice of an angel.
The
I
voice-
can't even look at you right now.
He's like, I'm not just
He's
some
like-
guy. Right? Like,
He's like, you gotta know.
you gotta know.
He's like, your voice is like the combination of Fergie and Jesus.
But even when his parents are talking about, he's like, well, he's an excellent singer, but he's like, I am his mother, and I've only heard him sing twice. And she's like, oh, why doesn't he sing? And he's like, well, he decided to join a talent show.
Oh
And
man,
it's
that
like, but
flashback.
he sang a song from an old pirate musical, but
Oh my god.
Derek and some of his football buddies changed the background to be Brennan has a mangina. And he's like, and some of the meaner parents joined in. And, it's like,
And then when she says, the part that kills me, she's like, I will
Yeah.
admit that I joined
I
in.
joined in a little too. And she's like, Derek would go on to win the competition by lip syncing Ice Ice Baby. And he's like, and Robert just goes, oh, what a great song.
I like that they didn't cast a younger version. It's just 40-year-old Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Oh my
playing himself in high school.
Scott. Yeah. Except Adam Scott has like a rat tail.
He's a rat tail, yeah.
Yeah.
To show the
so
passage
dumb.
of time.
Oh, yeah. There's well, were we talking about Point Break?
Point Break.
They're
Yeah.
the
No,
same
yeah, it
thing.
was the
Yeah.
same argument.
Passage of time.
Can I throw a weird thing that I noticed in there today? This is going to be so weird.
I don't know. I told you I think Bobby Flay's attractive, so I think
I
anything
guess
is
this is probably on the same tip. So in their and I don't know how I noticed this. This is going to make me sound like a deviant. The posters they have in the room. It's Metallica, heavy metal. I forget what else it is, but above his bed is what I always thought was a Pirates of the Caribbean poster.
Mm-hmm.
Is not Pirates of the Caribbean. It is a movie called Pirates that came out in 2005. That is a porn. It's like a high quality porn parody of Pirates of the Caribbean. But the only reason I know it is because I remember when I was in college.
Are you about to expose yourself?
No, I didn't. I didn't have this DVD, but like my friend. Oh yeah, it sounds like.
Okay.
This actually sounds like I had it.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
now
I
he
wish
has
I
the
did-
steel
I only
ball.
had the second one.
No, I honestly wish
I was very confused.
At this point, I wish I did
Lot of
have it
plot.
because
A
it's
friend.
it'd just be a funny thing to have. But it's
Yeah.
literally like a high end. Like, I mean, when I say high budget, I just mean
Yeah.
like it was
For
actually
porn.
produced. Like it was a produced movie that was like a completely porn parody of Pirates of the Caribbean. But I was like watching it and I was like, why does that just look off? Because it almost looks like it's Johnny Depp, but it's a woman.
Yeah.
On the one side, so I had to
Do you
Google.
think they couldn't get the rights to that?
No,
poster?
I
Or
think
do you
it's on purpose.
That Adam
I
Scott,
think they're
that
just
Adam
like-
McKay was like, this would be.
I think
That
they're
this
just
guy
like-
would have a porn movie poster.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I think it's on purpose.
Whose bed is it over?
It's over. It's Dale's
Dale's?
house.
Oh, point for Dale.
Yeah, it's Dale.
Here's the weird
Dale.
kid.
and it's
Yeah.
and it's above the bed. He's sleeping in it. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's put in there for everyone to notice. But like, I only noticed it's the last time I watched it. I was like, why does it look so familiar? I'm googling like Pirates poster 2000. I'm like, what is it? And then I finally saw
You
like,
stumbled upon the
the poster.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this the poster? And it is. And I was like, oh my god.
That's
and then I like
hilarious.
rewound it, and it was that poster. I was like,
That's pretty wild.
is that weird or what?
That's
That's
good.
crazy.
I don't know why I just had to tell that.
You Rain Man that porn poster. That was in Step Brothers.
That's what I felt like. I was like, can I remember a single quote? But
Yeah.
no,
He's
but
like-
I know what poster's on his bed.
4G Toothpicks is the porn movie. That was you. That's wild.
Yeah, I just had to throw that in there.
Dude,
I'm
we
happy you
haven't
did.
even talked about the Derek's birthday dinner when they
lead
when
us
they
in.
God,
when they
dude.
start when they go, we have
Prestige worldwide.
prestige worldwide,
Yeah.
and they're like, we have a very special thing for you guys, and they start playing it, and he's like, they play the video, and Robert's like, is that my boat?
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, Dad, shut up, we're trying to present something, and he's like, who's driving the boat? And it just crashes into the rocks,
Nose. Yeah.
and he's like, ah! He flips out,
Yeah.
and
Oh, the car ride home is hilarious too.
yeah.
Yeah. You want to talk about it?
You can go through it if you like.
Well, no, they're in the car, and he's
'Cause
like,
I kinda-
aside from the damage to the boat, which we will fix.
Yeah,
What did you think?
that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
I couldn't remember that.
it's pretty funny.
That's why I said you take it.
But they also the one line that I always, it's a dumb throwaway line, but again, like every line in this movie is a dumb throwaway awesome line. But before they do the presentation, he goes, "I'm sure you're wondering why I gathered you here, other than Derek's birthday today." And then they lead into the presentation. I think that is just like how did
Yeah.
they come up with?
What does
that
he say when he
shit?
gets home though? He's like, I've had enough of you, Robert. He's like,
Yeah,
he's
he's
like,
like, I'm gonna-
something geriatric fuck. I'm gonna take one
He's
of those
like-
hearing devices and shove it so far up your ass you're gonna hear the sound of your small intestine make.
As it produces shit.
That's what it is. But when he calls him that geriatric fuck thing
Yeah.
sticks with me forever.
And then he smacks him.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're next,
Someone should have done this a long
yes,
time
sir.
ago.
Yes, sir.
Was it some choices have consequences or something? I don't remember what it is.
Dude, when Alice,
And then it flashes to Chris.
Oh, and then he says, "You're next." He's like, "Yes, sir."
He's like, "Yes, sir." He like Blair
Yeah.
Witches in the corner. Like,
Yeah.
he's just
when Alice like corners Dale in the bathroom.
Oh, after
And she's like, just real quick. And he's like, it's so wet. He's like something's going to happen.
And then she goes, all right, I got to take a piss. And then she puts her leg
Oh
on the
my
wall. That
God.
part
Yeah.
kills me.
And he's like, you're incredible. When he's at the urinal, she comes up, she goes, hi, my name's Dave. I'm going to suck my dick for a He's like, what? He's so scared. He turns around.
And then
Yeah, she's awesome in this movie.
you were saying the Christmas Eve scene when they announced the divorce.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
And then he's like, he finally just says, it is their fault. And Dale's like, I'm gonna throw up.
And then they get the picture. He's like, let's get a picture. And he takes them, and they're like,
He's like, I don't want a picture right now.
So in the unrated
My
one,
picture taken.
there's also like in the regular movie, there's the scene where they're like spelling out the vegetables, like what is it, fuck me now or something like that. She shows them.
yeah.
But in the
Alice is-
unrated one, they actually
Oh, was
There's
that not
no-
in the regular one? Where they
yeah,
go,
no, that's not in the
and
regular
they
one.
pop through the door.
Yeah, they pop through the door and they're just going after it again.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's not.
But like nobody
Oh,
notices.
shit.
Like it just keeps happening.
It's
What does he
pretty
say? Adam Scott says something weird. Like I forget. He says something weird.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember. He says something about it, but they just keep going on with the dinner. Like
But
they
he's
don't-
very clearly holding her hips behind her
Yeah.
as they pop behind or out of the door into the dining room.
Oh, he does say to him at one point. He's like, "Why do you keep calling her? Why do you,
Wait, why do you keep calling him babe?
babe?"
yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Also, he's trying to sell the house.
Oh my god.
And they're doing all the crazy shit. Like, they're like Ku Klux Klan members.
Yeah.
And then
And
there's
the
a
one neighbor's a
dead
Nazi.
body.
The dead
Yeah,
body
he
one
was
is
a
awesome
Nazi,
though.
yeah.
The blue skin. That's the Philip Morris scene.
Yeah.
He comes in.
I do love
Yeah.
that
He's like,
he's.
"Can you give
When,
us a
when
minute?"
Derek's code switching,
yeah.
he's like, "There's plenty of room for all you and all your homies to come and hang out."
He's
I
like,
love
"Can
that
you-
he's-
He's like, "Oh, he's such an asshole."
Yeah, like,
He's like, "Can you-" he even says to him, he's like, "Can you just say it's a?"
He's like, you can just say it's a
neighborhood?"
nice location. He's like, yeah, it's just how I talk. I don't know. And you're like, oh my god. But I do love the dead body one.
blue
When he
skin.
comes in,
Oh my
he's
God.
like, give us some privacy. You just died last night. And then they run out because they're obviously not going to buy the house. And Derek just goes, all right, that one was good. And then he walks out. But,
Well, what does he
Yeah.
say when he's dressed as the Nazi? Like, "Hey, fuckers, welcome
Yeah,
to the
he's like,
neighborhood."
"Welcome to the neighborhood."
He's like
"Everybody-"
mowing
he's
the lawn. Yeah.
And then he's Dale's wearing like the KKK robes. He's like, everybody recycles. You're gonna love it. Oh my god! Like,
Yeah.
it is a really funny scene.
But when they start blaming each other for the
Oh.
divorce,
Yeah, because then it turns, so they're like
Yeah.
not friends, really good friends, brothers, and then they start to hate each other at the end of the movie.
and then I love the line where he goes, "We're no longer brothers." He goes, "We were never brothers. We never were. We were stepbrothers."
Stepbrothers.
And then
Roll
they
credits.
go their separate ways for a little while.
Yeah. They start so right before that when they get in the fight and he's like, you don't have to whisper anymore. They're in their room.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we had a perfect setup, and then you and your mom came in here, and they get into a fight.
Oh
I
man,
love-
yeah.
They get into a fight, and then he hits him over the head, or he hits him with something, and he's basically like dead. He thinks he killed Will Ferrell, and so he digs a hole and throws him in it. And he
I love
wakes
that.
up, and he's
This,
like,
this is just like forensic files. This is just
Yeah,
like
it's like- it's
forensic.
just like cold
Not
case
understanding
files.
that this is just like regular crime.
Yeah.
It's not just a show.
Yeah.
But he wakes up. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm burying you." He's like, "Just let the dirt shower over you." And then he's patting the dirt. And he goes, "Your fault." Goes back in.
And then he comes out. He's like, "Zombies!"
Zombie. And then they were like, "So that's it, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'd say you trying to bury me alive pretty much did it." It's so dumb.
And then the Catalina wine mixer is incredible.
Yeah.
That scene is just like unbelievable. And then
I want to drive a Range Rover. I want to
Horatio
get
Sanz
ass.
is the singer.
Yeah, I want to make bank,
I wanna
bro.
make bank,
What does he
bro.
say? Strictly 80s Joel?
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
that
you're strictly
is so
80s doo-wop
fucking
That part
funny.
is fucking hilarious.
That
Just-
guy.
That are you talking about the dude that's his friend, like Derek's guy that keeps calling out like, what does he say? Play piano, man.
He is
Yeah,
Piano
he's
Man.
like, play piano. He's like, and the guy's like, we don't play that, sir.
He's like, let's do something from the strangers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But the line he hits him after that is unbelievable.
Listen, motherfucker. Freaks out
Yeah.
at him.
He's like, take your skanko wife.
Get out of here.
And fuck out of here.
He's like, we strictly play 80s, Joel. And he's like, doo-wop Joel sucks.
Oh my god.
Dude, that is so good, and they take him out.
Yeah.
But, dude, there's so many good things. When they're trying to get jobs, and he's interviewing with Ken Jeong,
Oh yeah.
and he's like, as long as it doesn't involve having sex with older ladies, for money or bear traps.
Those
I'm
are
in.
My two. He's like, those are my two bugaboos.
He's like, I got a temp agency. You're good.
yeah.
Ken Jeong I like
He's
him a lot.
awesome.
Yeah.
He's a doc. He's an actual medical doctor, and he like was a doctor
I
and he
know.
started acting. He was like, all right, I'll do that now.
Have you guys seen Role Models?
Yeah, that movie.
I actually just watched
legendary.
that pretty recently.
That movie fucking that might be.
It's
Is
great,
that
man.
the same year as this? That's
It was 2008, somewhere around there, 2008,
that
2009.
movie-
Yeah, the same era
Yeah.
of
that movie
comedies.
mentally destroys me. I love that movie.
He's awesome.
He's great in Community.
Yeah, he is
Oh,
great
yeah.
Fantastic.
as the Spanish teacher.
Yeah. Just unhinged.
Yeah, that's good. But did we have any? Did you have any?
Well, I
phone
just want to
facts
say
or
one
anything?
other thing.
Sure.
Because Andrew was talking about the dinosaur scene, and I love when Dale's like, "You can't be a dinosaur. You're a human."
Yes.
When he starts doing the dinosaur, when he starts doing the short arms.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
When Richard Jenkins just starts doing like the. Oh my God, this is too much for me.
He's like,
everyone
I lost
knew
it.
I saw something
He's like,
that
everyone
was,
knew me around the neighborhood. They
And
stayed
everyone was
away.
afraid of me.
I saw something that was completely improvised. He didn't have. They just said go over there and give them an inspirational
Give
speech,
them-
and that's what he did.
That's awesome. He's like, you know what my dad told me? He said, no, stop being a fucking dinosaur and get a job.
Yeah.
Stop being a
But
fucking dinosaur.
I mean, when he sings that song and they have all those
yeah.
backs, like she has the dream of, what's her name? Derek's wife has the dream where she's in the woods and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and Dale's like a minotaur,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and then
So
The
bizarre.
therapist is
yeah, the therapist,
Will Ferrell is a lumberjack
Yeah.
coming in.
It's like lumberjack.
and then even Derek like thinks back to when he's like, "You're the best big brother ever,"
Yeah.
like when they're flying the kite,
It's so wholesome.
and it's just like so good. And then they do that awkward
Oh,
hug.
hug,
Yeah. He's like,
Oh,
that
the
was
hug's
pretty
pretty
good.
Yeah. He's like punches him, and then he's like, wait. And then they like,
The high
they high five, and Mary Steamer goes, that's what we were
That's
looking
what
for.
we're looking for. I do like when after all that happens, he introduces Denise, his therapist, to his family. He goes, this is Denise. And they were like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. And she was like, I mean this in the most professional way. That was really brave of you. And he goes, what poem is that from? She was like, you are, and his mom was like, you are a keeper. And she's like, and you are an enabler. Which is just so good.
I love how it just flashes around to everybody. Like, it just goes to everyone, and they're just like, the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
That's
But
bizarre.
it is cool how, and then it flips, because then it's like, goes to 6 months later,
Yeah.
and they're all at dinner, and they're talking about their karaoke business, and then Derek starts telling the story, and Richard Jenkins is like, Derek, we talked about this.
And he's like, oh, right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, like, when they go outside and he puts the boat in the tree,
Yeah.
and he gives them all
The
the
Gilded
hustlers. He's
Lady.
like, "Oh my god, hustlers! That's so that's so thoughtful." And then even Derek's like, "Oh,
Crossbows.
that's cool," and he goes up like it just
Yeah.
like totally switches.
It is a really good movie.
But it is funny at the end too, the extra scene when
Yeah.
they helicopter in.
You know, when
So
he
earlier
beat
we-
up all the kids.
Yeah, we didn't talk about. I think we only talked about like when I did the summary about them, like
Oh,
getting their
yeah.
asses kicked. But they make they're basically approached by a group of kids led by what's the kid's name? Gardaki
Yeah, Kardaki. Yeah.
is his
So
name,
Gordaki.
and
He's
and
like, we
he was
can't go that way.
He's like, he's like, look, it's Dale Doback and his, what is he called? It's something terrible.
Yeah.
But he's like, if you don't get over here and lick that white dog shit, I'm going to plow into your nose with my fist. He's like, I'm not licking white dog shit.
Oh, that kid destroys him. too.
Yeah.
Punches him so hard.
Yeah. And, but yeah, at the end, they helicopter in. And,
He helicopter. He
Oh,
goes,
yeah.
and then Will Ferrell jumps out. He goes, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but I'm gonna kick you repeatedly in the balls, Kardaki."
I like the one scene, they're doing like the jump spin and there's like doves flying out and stuff. Like when
Yeah,
in the middle
and they're
of the
just
play.
beating the shit out of these
Yeah.
kids, and then they're like, "We should probably go. Cops are gonna come soon." And they start talking about the drums, and he's like,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry, man." He's like, "No, you don't have to be sorry." He's like, "Well, if you didn't touch it, why wouldn't you take an apology?"
Yeah.
Like-
And then that's just like kind of the end of the movie.
Yeah, and then the last scene. Well, we didn't even talk about that. Is the sleepwalking scene
Oh my god, yeah.
when they throw Richard
Oh
Jenkins
my
down
God.
the fucking stairs.
It's like, don't wake him up. this is I've had enough of this.
I've had enough
He's
of
like,
this.
this is ridiculous. He
Yeah.
wakes him up.
So
like,
they've-
"Ah!"
That's another theme throughout. They have really horrible sleepwalking. So
Yeah.
Dale puts her purse or the couch cushions in the oven, and he puts like his mom's purse in the
freezer
fridge or something
Yeah.
like that.
But when they're walking down the steps before they realize what's happening, he's
Yeah.
saying something really diabolical. He's like, "Oh, what did he said something about?"
Yeah, like
night
I'm
before.
still sore this
Like, I'm
morning
still
or
sore.
something. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I don't know
talking
what-
like sexy
yeah.
to each other.
Yeah, he's saying
he's walking
something.
in, he's like, I don't know what you did, but I'm still sore.
Yeah,
You're like,
I think that
what?
is what that is.
I'm like, yeah, nice. And then all of a sudden they walk into. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, he must have left the door open. A raccoon got it.
Raccoons got it.
Yeah. Then they start bringing the Christmas tree in the bed.
Oh yeah, later.
He's like,
on.
this is ridiculous. And then when they throw him down the steps, dude, he gets
It's
fucking
so good.
destroyed. So after all
God.
the credits, it shows them getting up in the sleepwalking scene. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see the scene.
Yeah, it's just the
I
end,
don't know
and
if
they
I've
get
seen
up and
that.
they go, ugh, and they walk out of the room, and that's the end.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
That's good.
So
Is this like an old school thing where you guys lied to me and said there's an extra scene that I never
no,
saw?
dude,
No,
I'm
dude,
telling
this
you.
isn't one of your fake facts.
That was teasing Step Brothers too.
We'll be
Back in
back.
the
Yeah.
habit. Yeah.
The
But
Step
there's
Brothers
so-
will return.
I mean, there's so many fucking good
Yeah.
scenes. I think we hit a lot of them, but they were.
Yeah, I think I covered all the scenes I wanted to talk about. Andrew, do you have any other notes?
No,
that
I
you
think I
wanted to-
hit a lot. It's more specific lines than it is
Yeah.
scenes in
Yeah.
general. There's just so many, and ones that like you don't hear about. That besides I was watching Cops and
Yeah.
you don't say that.
There you go. Say
Yeah,
that.
you don't say
There's
that.
like these little ones that are like real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the karate in the garage thing is sick too.
It is pretty
I always
great.
wanted
Oh,
to-
with the night, and then he has the
I
night
always
vision
wanted to-
goggles
You wanna
too.
do karate in the garage.
Yeah. It's
They're
so
fucking
good.
chopping up Dorito bags. Yeah, the night vision goggles. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can hardly notice them.
And they're not that noticeable on your face.
Oh, that's what it is. They're not
Yeah.
that noticeable.
He's like, can you imagine what we would have done if we had these when we were 12? He's like, even better. We got them when we're 40. It's just a wild throwaway line. But,
And when Dale's doing his taxes
yeah,
with the Chewbacca
mask.
mask, and then he takes off and looks at it and just goes,
And puts
like,
it down.
sighs and puts it down.
Oh, yeah, because then Will Ferrell wipes his ass with the
Oh, man.
carpet.
Carpet, yeah.
And he goes and buys toilet paper and goes,
He's
yeah.
like, yeah. It's so dumb. But yeah, like you said, I think I covered all the
Yeah.
scenes and stuff.
I will say, if you haven't seen Get Hard, that one is pretty.
That's
good.
funny, too.
That's
Keystone.
another one where he tries to play it straight.
And it's just hilarious.
That's a funny movie with him and Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I love Kevin Hart.
I was short on phone facts. I only got
Dang.
2 phone facts.
Let's hear the phone facts, and then we can bring it home
So
with a quote.
apparently, Adam McKay wanted to make this a drama, not a comedy. And then I
Oh,
think Judd
man.
Apatow's like, I think we
that's a terrible move.
should roll into the comedy here.
Yeah.
And then John Hamm, Thomas Lennon, and Dax Shepard auditioned for the role of Derek.
Okay.
Dax Shepard would have been awful for that.
John Hamm might have been pretty
John
good.
Hamm.
John
might have
Hamm
been
could
good,
have been funny, yeah.
He's-
But
he-
Adam
yeah.
Scott was just so...
Yeah, Adam Scott is
He was
great.
just awesome. He's such a
He's a
dick
little
in this.
dick.
He
Yeah.
thought I was reading up on things, and he thought that he was doing terribly the entire shoot. Like he thought he was like, "This is awful. I'm ruining this entire movie."
No,
And
it
then
was amazing.
It wasn't until like the premiere or whatever that he was like, "Oh no, it all works." And he might be the best part of the movie.
That's what
Oh,
he's the most
yeah.
memorable. He's the one that like people will
Yeah.
quote the most for sure. Like he's just like such a cocksucker.
It's
Oh, yes.
incredible. Yeah. So what was the other?
That was it?
That was
That's
all
all I
the
had.
phone facts. So we usually, to wrap up all of our episodes, we'll give a quote to kind of lead out to summarize how we feel about this movie. It's just any quote from the movie. So I think it's only right if Andrew picks the quote to send us out. I know I'm putting you on the spot. and I
No,
apologize.
I mean I feel this is an easy one. I mean, it's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time, everybody.